Hello, this is Kylie J.N.S. Happy Friday. I hope you guys had a great week. And we are doing our weekly tarot as per usual. And we're going to start with our review. Now, you guys know we always do the review of last week to make sure that we are edified and what we said would transpire. Let me just make sure that my sound is good because I actually had to restart. I had to redo the whole live stream again. Um, but nonetheless, we are here. And so I want to do a review of last week. We had mentioned some things that would have take place, and it did transpire, over the week, things that we said about planes and plane crashes and delays with the FAA and traffic and whatnot, and stalling things and plans getting canceled. So we want to discuss that. And again, the reason why we do these videos on a weekly basis is theoretically we want to help people who want to tune into like what kind of things they should look for, what kind of things should they be preparing for. And so there was a lot of delays this week, major, like almost a lot of cities, plane crashes, plane delays, transport buses. I said there was going to be something with transportation, and then this, the reason why, you know, I didn't want to look at gloom and doom, but that's what I saw. It was for people to kind of start to prepare. It was actually a family. They put this in the news. The report was published yesterday of a family who spent $8,000, saved $8,000 for a cruise, for a trip they wanted to take. It was like six of them, and they missed the cruise because of their delay in the flight. The flight was delayed and they missed it by minutes. They couldn't make the cruise, so the boat left without them, and they spent $8,000 for that. It's just a waste. And so, it was a lot of delays, and a lot of people were complaining about that. But the only reason why we did that video last week was so that people could start to prepare, like maybe get to move, if they had a time sensitive event, to move up maybe change the time of the ticket. But I understand that things are unforeseeable, and this is just a probability of outcome. But I'll show you like how, there were so many like lanes blocked, traffic blocks, delays. It just was ridiculous. But nonetheless, we'll do the review, and then we'll move on to next week's reading. I don't want people trying to shift up like their whole life around the damn reading or anything, right? But at the same time, if you have time sensitive event, and it's just, you got a plane, a flight or something, and that there's possibility for these big delays like there was this week, then you may want to, change the time of the ticket or something like that, just to protect yourself, especially if you knew there was like storms. Make sure you have some confluence before you make those type of decisions. Confluence just means like there's some added confirmation of the move you want to make. And so, make sure that, okay, if you see something about storms, or look at the location that you're going, if you see those type of things, to avoid, just to take some pre measures. And that's why we do these tarot videos. And so we'll review, and we'll talk about what we saw. So I'll start now. But the first thing I get is some sort of spoiled plans. And you know what it's relating to? Travel, planes, like something with that damn air. Something don't go right. Something with the air. Something with airplane travel, telecommunications, and the air. Something gonna get fucked up. It work itself out. It looks like there's something being this is just a global thing, more so what I'm seeing is like, okay. And so we mentioned things with the travel in the air. And so there was a lot of delays. Various airports, Newark Liberty International Airport had ground stop delays. So this was September 2nd. So we recorded our video on August 30th. As you can see, just make sure. Yeah, the video was recorded 6 days ago on August 30th. It was live. And so you can clearly see that uh, there was, these massive delays. Now let's take a look because it wasn't just Newark. So we see ground stop delays, some flights at Newark Liberty International Airport. And so there's a ground stop in effect due to equipment outages on an anticipated high volume travel day. So they had equipment outages. And so this was the type of thing that I was seeing last week on that Friday when we did our reading. So we said the Federal Aviation Administration reported there's a traffic management program in effect for traffic arriving at the Newark International Airport. Officials are looking into possible radar outages. So I had kind of felt that there was something with these radar outages and delays. There was gate holds, there were taxi delays, there were other general airborne arrival delays. They were longer than 2 hours. So that's just one airport. But look at this. This was pretty much major. So it's airport strikes that were taking place too. This is yesterday. So it's like airport strikes in Italy could impact your flights. Here's how. So if you're going to Italy or something, they were talking about you need to brace yourself for the potential disruptions. I guess there's some labor unions that are doing some strikes, and so there's some airport delays and flight cancellations. And so here's another one. Here's another look at it. So this is the same one that we just covered, the Newark Liberty International Airport after equipment outage. So we already talked about that one. And then when we talk about like snarling traffic, like because actually I think we should go back and because I do mention specifically traffic and transportation. Let me make sure that this was the last. Um, this one right here. It was delays for Labor Day. Let's see. There's long security lines, flight delays in Charlotte and in the LAX airport. Wow. So a lot of stuff was 2 hours late. Look at this Charlotte flight set for 10:30 a.m. It didn't touch down until 12:30 p.m. And so this was Charlotte. We got Newark. We got LA, Italy. And so that's pretty, major. Now, as far as the big one that we saw, we said planes were going to be fucked up. There was a woman that was killed in her house while she was sleeping because she was hit by a plane. Ain't that crazy? She was hit by a damn plane. She was sleeping. She was 75 years old. And the twin engine Cessna was an airplane that crashed into her home on Saturday. That was September 30th. So that was September 1st, right? Or August 31st. Yeah, the plane crashed and actually the whole block got caught on fire. Look at this. Look at this block. This is the damage that plane did. 3 people died actually. And so it wasn't just the lady. And so, I mean, could you imagine dying in your house while you sleeping because some damn plane crashed into your damn house while you sleeping? Look at this. And so as we said, with planes are going to be fucked up, but something going to be happening. So here's the footage of it. Plane crashes into house, killing 3. Okay, and that was in Oregon. And so, just so you know, that plane crashes are very, very rare. You have a way higher chance of dying in a car accident than you do in a plane accident. Most people, most people do not, ever have to worry about a tragic incident like this taking place, right? And so, plane crashes are pretty rare, especially with one crashing into your house while you're sleeping. But nonetheless, like I felt it. I knew it was going to be something fucked up with these planes. And guess what? There was another incident where a pilot was killed in the Colorado plane crash. This was just yesterday. So it was another day. It's Colorado. Like it was a lot of stuff going on with the air, and they didn't really want to tell people. But I felt that energy of like something. Just the equipment shit was messed up and shit just messed up. And I'll continue to show the rest of the reading, but because I have to pull up because because I think I mentioned something with transportation specifically. So we'll continue so you could see more. Okay. And so that was interesting because, we said something with spiritual malnourishment, something stalling with money, stalling, thinking something's going to go through it and it doesn't. And so I would say the only thing that fits that narrative is the California Slavery Reparations Bill that had unraveled over Gavin Newsom. And that took place on August 31st, the day after that video was recorded. Uh, they blocked the bill. They stalled the bill until next year. And so even you can see the title of this video, after key reparations bill stall, California lawmakers say they'll try again next year. And we talked about spiritual malnourishment. Now, on my video, I did just do a 6 hour breakdown of that reparations space and in terms of like spiritual malnourishment and why it didn't go through or something didn't go through. That was definitely the biggest thing that had happened this week in terms of like thinking something was going to go through and it was a good partnership or there was something that would pass and then it's like, okay, not enough funds, not enough. Okay, whatever. That part, people do say that California will go bankrupt, they don't have enough money in their budget. But beyond that, there was stalling, more so from what I see, from the Democrats caused this issue. But I have been in this space for a very long time. And so I know personally, just from being very up close, that this has to do more so with spiritual malnourishment, as to why this energy got blocked. And I did a breakdown on that. I saw it coming a year ago, and so I wasn't trying to gloat or anything, but I could see, unfortunately, that there was some spiritual malnourishment in this whole venture. So yes, the legislative Black Caucus did block the reparations bills from coming to the floor for a vote, and so it's stalled and halted into next week. It's halted. This was the only thing. I mean, there was other, because I know we mentioned budget, and so there was another thing, when we talk about this stall. Like there was a defense budget increase was of $833 billion for the year of 2025, but it's not going to be on time. And so this was published September 4th. It's not going to be on time. So House Armed Services Committee is confident that the Congress will pass a short-term budget extension in the next few weeks for $833 billion in defense spending for fiscal year 2025. But it doesn't mean it's going to come on time. So here we have this thing of stalling. Let's see, lawmakers have begun debating whether to extend the budget until mid November or early 2025. Why are they stalling it though? Okay, so so that was another event as well. That's kind of major, $833 billion. I mean, it's almost $1 trillion increase for the defense budget. And so they have to pass that. It just most likely won't pass on time. And so those are two events that we saw. So let's continue because I do think I mentioned something with transportation. I'm going to pause this because you guys remember when I said there was be something earlier with something that could relate to space travel. I forgot that this did happen. So SpaceX was hit for alleged violations. FFA explains meeting postponement. So here again, we have this thing where a meeting being stalled, something getting postponed. And this was just yesterday, and this was relating to SpaceX. As we did say, this could be something with SpaceX. So it postponed its planned public meetings on SpaceX proposal. Okay. The FAA released a draft environmental assessment on proposal on July 29th and invited the public on summit comments, but I guess that meeting had been stalled. Okay, yeah, so that was September 5th. SpaceX hit for alleged violations. FAA explains meeting postponement. So the FAA stalled the meeting or whatever. So that's something else that relates to like the space thing that we were talking about. Public comment. Well, I know foreign policy doesn't really. Well, military has an aspect of foreign policy, but what I could have. I'm trying to think if I could see it now. So it's 800 of their defense budget. They're looking for that to get passed in the Congress, but it may not pass on time. I'm trying to look to see if in the spread if I can see that now, if it's, that it relates to military. No, to me, I would. I still see foreign policy. That's what I get. I still don't even see the military within this one. Mm-mm. And like if I was to interpret it, to me, it looks like something with foreign policy as far as budgetary issues. Well, let's see, because I didn't look. Let's see, maybe there is something foreign policy because I didn't even. Let's just type in foreign policy and see what news comes up. Mm, let's see. The only thing I can think of is I know Trump announced that he wants to do this sovereign wealth fund for the nation. And so I don't know if I know that there was some economists that had some feedback about that, and some speculations about that, good and bad. And so that's the only thing I could think of that would relate to like this thing with the sovereign wealth fund. That doesn't really relate to foreign policy though, because um, this is more for the nation, but this would it's something with this budget, this things with budgetary stuff that definitely relates to that sovereign wealth fund. And other countries have a sovereign wealth fund. This is actually not new. But let's see. But it does relate, I guess, because they're going to be getting this money from Norway, China, and South Korea. It would be this our sovereign wealth fund would be funded by tariffs from other countries. So I guess that relates to that foreign policy element that we got. But there are people that thinks that there's not the budgetary aspects of this is not feasible, or something of that nature. I did read that from like an economist yesterday, and so we'll have our own sovereign wealth fund. I think it's a decent idea. I just need to study it more before I make full commentary on it. I don't feel comfortable making full commentary on it before studying it more in depth. But I do have to say that this was yesterday, September 5th, and so that's pretty major because it's going to be funded by tariffs through suggesting the government-owned investment fund used by countries such as Norway, China, and will be created by tariffs. And so, okay, so other countries had. Okay, let's read this together. The government-owned investment fund is used by countries such as Norway, China, and South Korea, and so they already have theirs created, and so our sovereign wealth fund would be partially funded by tariffs, and so let me make sure I understand what. So it's a tax on imports or exports. Okay, and so we'll see what that's about. So let's continue. I'm just going to fast forward a little bit because I could have swore I said something about transportation. Yeah, so there were things I thought I said something with transportation, but there was like a major just delays even with the traffic. Like when we talk about the delays, there was crash on Parkway East outbound causing major traffic delays. The NYC River caused traffic delays. But look at this, like there were so many the I-10 um, the lanes of the I-10 were closed on August 30th. This was after the video was published. On August 30th, first, there was vehicle crash, lanes closed in North Carolina. There was all three southbound lanes are closed due to a crash. This is in a whole nother city. Um, it was a lot going on. The Colorado had their northbound southbound roads closed due to a crash. It was the I-78, all lanes were closed in both directions, and this is in New Jersey. So there was just major stuff with like these delays and stuff. Pennsylvania had their right lane blocked. Their I-70, 76. That was it says be alert for slow or stop. In Indiana, the I-70 was closed again due to that overturned semi. Expecting traffic delays right there. Travel delays. See this? Expect long travel delays. This was August 31st, just the day after. And then in Mississippi, there were 7 dead, you know, um, due to a bus overturn. The bus had overturned. And then obviously, that the next day there was emergency crew. This was the plane crash that we talked about earlier in Fairview. It says breaking, a plane just crashed in Oregon. So this is someone's raw footage from their damn phone. These are neighbors walking down to try to help, and they got a fire uh, engine that ain't gonna do nothing. What's something called? Fire extinguisher. He got a fire extinguisher in her hand. You saw that? That shit ain't gonna do nothing for that. Not for them type of flames. You see them flames? That shit ain't no joke. I remember. Y'all probably don't know this, but and Um, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Y'all remember that Harlem fire where that whole family had died? Y'all remember that there was a I lived across the street from that building, and I was there, and I'll show you that, so you can see for yourself, because my name is in this newspaper. This is the New York Times. There was a Harlem fire. I lived right across the street from this building. This was when I was living in Harlem. I want to say 2018, 2019, right? So 6 people, including 4 children, were killed, and this happened in Harlem. And I'm talking about them type of flames. Like, I was across the street. We thought our building was on fire. So that's why I brought that up, because it's like he walking down the street. Let's look at it. Let's look at it one more time. He walking down the street with a fire extinguisher in his hand, with them type of big ass flames like that. That ain't gonna do shit. That ain't gonna do. Look at his. You see it in his hand. You see it. That ain't gonna do nothing. And I'm telling you, because I've witnessed a fire, and you got to see my name in his newspaper. It says Harlem fire, 6 people killed, including 4 children, are killed in city's deadliest blaze since 2017. So the fire swept through the fifth floor apartment of the housing authority building. The youngest victim was 3 years old. And so, as you can see, this is right here. I was staying across the building from that building, and that fire was so fucking strong. We thought it was our building. When I say everybody in my building, we got up, because I was about to go to sleep. We got up out our motherfucking beds. We didn't take the elevators or nothing. We running out the building. We grabbed, laptops and phones. Make sure we got our equipment. I remember people was bringing their dogs out because we thought it was our building. Come to find out, it wasn't our building at all. It was across the street's building. And when I said them flames look just like how these flames look with this plane. It was so strong, so smoky. Now let's read it, because y'all think I'm being dramatic. Let's see what you need to know. Why did they change this article? See full article. This is not the full article. This is not the full article. Why did they change the article? But I'll show you right here. You can see right here where my name says this. You could literally, because they thought my name was Jennifer because they had gave me a call, but you could clearly see that this is the New York Times, and it said this was May 8th, 2019, and you could hear when they would say, "Mom said Jennifer Nunn Stanley." Everybody knows my name is Jenny Nunn Stanley. So that they was interviewing witnesses, and I was standing out there. I actually had footage in my phone and everything. Like, I actually still got the footage somewhere in the email, like where you could see these flames that look just like how that airplane that crashed in. And you could hear them kids screaming. I ain't gonna hold you. Like I have video footage to this day of where you can hear them kids screaming, just so you know. No lie. Um, and I'm not gonna play that on YouTube. But I remember they wanted that footage and they never released that in the mainstream. They did not want people to have that footage. But I ended up giving it to another black um media. Like he's known for reporting the news in Harlem. He's actually very popular in New York for giving raw, unfiltered news, and so I had gave him those videos, and he put them on his YouTube channel at the time. But you can hear clearly see where it says you can hear when they would say "Mom said Jennifer Nunn Stanley," and so I don't know why they changed. But again, they are trying to like pretty much. Okay, here's the article. I'm like, what the hell? Like, what? I just saw that, right? I'm like, where's the article? Y'all saw that yourself where it wasn't loading. Okay, and so it was thick gray black clouds. It was a massive, massive fire. And it says a fire official says begin on the kitchen stove and whatever. And then you can see where it says you could, this is where, when I say you could hear when they would say mom. And I did hear them kids screaming mom. They were screaming it. And next thing you know, you didn't hear anybody anymore. So all those kids died. Said Jennifer Nunn Stanley, who lives across the street and heard the shouts coming from inside the burning building. Yeah. And so these were all the people that had passed away. It was a major fire. That's the building right there. That's in Harlem. That was the fire. And see, if y'all saw the footage that I got, where you could hear the glass like breaking so big, the glass exploding from the pressure of the fire, the kids screaming, like that was crazy. And like when they brought I remember I was up like to like 5, probably later than that, 5 a.m. And I had went inside before they brought the bodies out. Um, but it was wild. And I remember it being such a horrific vibration because honestly, there were things that for me psychically now that I know relates to this being a ritualistic. That's all I'll say. You can see the symbol yourself. This was ritualistic, and I could feel that, and I felt kind of sucked in that this whatever this ritual was because I remember the New York Times guy walked up to me specifically for asked for an interview. Like it was all the other people standing around. You only see like you don't see other people's names in there, and so I remember thinking like you know what did they want or whatever these but they had assumed that Jenny is short for Jennifer, which is not. Like Jenny is just my government name, but many people assume that Jenny is short for Jennifer. That's just a common thing, but they put Jennifer Nunn Stanley, but my name's Jenny Nunn Stanley, which I told them that, but they had put Jennifer. Yeah, but that was very tragic, and just seeing that flames like that, it just triggered that memory. You know what I mean? Like that's why I brought the Harlem fire up because I seen what that looks like up front, and so I know how the neighbors thought they could help. You looking for any way you could help, and I'm telling you, how that apartment was in Harlem, them type of flames, you ain't taking no fire extinguisher and thinking you gonna put something out. No, sorry, honey. You ain't doing nothing with that little fire extinguisher because people had fire extinguishers in their hands in Harlem thinking they was about to do something to help their neighbor. You ain't helping shit. Not with them type of flames. You gotta wait for the fire guys to show up. And that lady died in her house because a damn plane crashed into her shit. And that's very rare. That's very rare for that to happen. Most people you have a greater chance of dying in the car than you do in the damn plane crash. Seriously. It's like statistically proven. And so what I want to do now is work on next week's reading. Let's get next week's reading up and started for you guys so we can see. And again, these videos are not just for us to just talk just for our help, just to sit and look cute. We want to see what kind of things we could apply to ourselves. You don't want everything to be doom and gloom. If it's positive, I will say positive. I don't like to manifest no doom and gloom or none of that. But I have to say that is what I saw. I kept seeing like I kept seeing a bunch of plane shit, like stuff with delays and stuff. And it's gonna be okay, obviously, but I just wanted people to prepare in advance if people is traveling and shit. I also wanna before we go into next week's reading, because I'm drinking some tea. I don't know if you can hear like that spoon, how the spoon be going around and stuff. And I usually make like a basic peppermint tea in the mornings, but I tried it to do something different, and I started adding colostrum and ghee and honey to my peppermint tea and chamomile. So I add some chamomile, peppermint, colostrum, and ghee. So I don't know if you guys know what colostrum is, but that's the first mother's milk, and I'm just paying this forward if somebody else wants to do some research on it and maybe try it themselves. But colostrum is first mother's milk, and for some people that wasn't breastfed, like I wasn't breastfed as a kid, we tend to have things with you tend to get sicker sometimes and stuff with the immune, because colostrum builds up your immunity of all babies. So when you're breastfed, you get the colostrum from your mother. But if you weren't breastfed, you know, you may notice, if you have some that you may get sicker easier, and if not, you may notice like you had sinus issues. Like me as a kid, I had sinus issues. I still have sinus issues, and so colostrum, those type of things has been known to build up the immune system. And so I started to add colostrum to my tea. I do use the goat one because it is more similar to the human breast milk. Now, I'm not telling people to do anything or recommending. I'm just saying, like, I thought it was cool because I had tried colostrum before, but I never added it to the tea. So I really enjoy it. It tastes really delicious, like the colostrum. And again, when you do your research on it, it's spelled. Let me make sure I get the spelling so that you can see it for yourself. If anybody that's interested, colostrum. So colostrum is spelled Collostrum, and so it's the first breast milk that's released after you give birth. Okay, and so it's highly concentrated with antibodies, and that's what builds up your immune system. And so for a lot of humans, a lot of people weren't breastfed; they were given what's it, Infamil and some other shit. I literally was drinking carnation milk as a little baby. I ain't gonna hold you. Carnation. Carnation. Yeah. Oh Lord. But and so our generation tends to get more sicker because we didn't get that breast milk. And so colostrum is a good alternative for those that want to build up their immunity. It helps fight infections, and it improves your gut health throughout life. So say if your gut flora is a little off, that's another thing you may want to try is the colostrum. It is the first mother's milk of the breast milk. Um, Theoretically, I would like to. I personally would even. I don't even want to say that online because it's too controversial. But nonetheless, yes, that's what I've been adding to my tea. It makes it taste really delicious. Also, ghee. Now I know you guys remember ghee. That's Ghee. So ghee has been around for thousands and thousands of years, and it's like clarified butter, so it's more creamier. And I started to how people add ghee to like their coffee now. Like a lot of people move away from the creams and they just literally are adding butter to their coffee or whatnot. And so I said, well, let me try some ghee in the tea because I'm moving away from this plant based butter. Like I have been using plant based butter. I'm telling you, like for 10 to 12 years, I was using Earth Balance, their organic earth plant based butter, and I thought that was a healthy alternative, but it has like these seed oils in it, and so I wanted to move away from them seed oils because I thought that was healthier than ghee or pasture raised, free grass fed ghee, and so I started to use to try the ghee because I'm like, the Earth Balance, they were charging $8 now for the organic one, and they still having like these seed oils, whether it be palm oil, canola oil, even if you try to get the coconut oil or the olive oil one, they're still adding canola or palm or soy. And so I said, well, let me just go back to, after 12 years, let me just go back to pasture raised, grass fed, organic ghee, you know. And so I try well, actually, I started with the butter, pasture raised, organic, grass fed butter. And then I said, well, I remember learning about ghee because that's what they use in India for some of the funeral rites that they have. They'll put ghee on the face of, like, say, if you pass away, for part of the funeral rites is to put ghee on like the eyes of the dead, or to put it around the face as a part of like making the body look presentable. Um, and it's something that is special to them. So I said, well, and they also cook with ghee too. So I said, well, let me try it. I remember I said learning about ghee, and I saw that, and it was a little cheaper than the other brand that I was getting, and it was still pasture raised and grass fed and organic. So I said, well, let me get that damn ghee and try that, see what ghee is about. Man, I feel like I've been missing out my whole life, and I just wanted to tell y'all that. I know that's a tangent, and I know we're supposed to be doing our tarot read, and we're gonna get to it, trust me. But I just wanted to tell y'all that, man, like that ghee, Ghee. That's how I spell. Man, that's 1,000 times better than butter. Woo! Good God. That is 1,000 times better than butter. Like that shit tastes like something. It's so creamy and rich, and man, and I did get the salted one, but man, that's 1,000 times better than butter. I'm telling you. I've been looking for anything to put that ghee on. I put it on the cornbread. I got some jalapeno cornbread in there. I put it on that. I put it on my gluten free waffles. I don't put it. I've just been looking for anything to put it on, anything to cook with it. Anything, because I said that ghee is so damn good, and so I threw it in my tea. And so I said, oh my gosh. And so I put the honey in there, a little bit of honey, colostrum, and that peppermint chamomile, and the ghee. And that's like drinking a damn milkshake. It's so good. And I know some people may be vegan and like, well, I can't do plant animal based nothing. I'm not vegan. I have no qualms about that. Okay. Though I have work to do on my dietary intake and whatnot. I definitely admit that I have work to do. That's something that when it comes to seed oils, if it comes to plant based, or if it comes to just using the regular butter and ghee, oh, I'm gonna take that any other day, because I've been researching them seed oils, and I've been learning from the other there's chiropractors, naturopaths, there's MDs that have been given a lot of perspective and insight on these seed oils, and I thought they were being a little dramatic. Like, I heard about it over the years, like, hey guys, don't use them seed oils, don't use them plant-based butters, don't use them plant-based butters. And I'm kind of like, I heard that before, but I said, I don't know, I can't use the dairy one either. And that's what I thought. And so I started doing some research about the enzymes that change when milk product is homogenized and pasteurized. That's what causes like a lot of the lactose intolerance. That's what causes people to have the upset stomach, because it makes it hard to digest. It's because it's homogenized and pasteurized. And so there's certain products that you can look at this that has that are non-homogenized, that have very little pasteurization. I'm not saying it's completely raw, but there are certain, you're going to pay more, obviously. Like, my ghee was like $8 for 2 sticks. But it's pasteurized, it's organic, it's grass fed, it's sustainably sourced. So to me, I'm okay with that. um but I do like ghee. It's been around for thousands of years, and you know um it's a lot better than butter. And so I just wanted to pass that forward, because I'm drinking. I just finished my tea, actually, and so I said, well, it just made me want to share that with you guys. And another thing is, I was making this tea yesterday again, and you know how you had them electronic tea makers, right? Electronic teapots, and you know how hot that water get. And so I had the cup sitting with the honey inside of it already, and so I guess it was a ladybug in my room, and I guess the ladybug, I don't know if they felt, you know, they smelt that honey or something, and they went right into that damn cup. And so I poured a tea in there, and next thing I just see this ladybug just floating on top of my damn tea. And I said, "Damn, I know you done burnt your little ass up." I felt so bad for that because you could tell what moving wasn't doing nothing. It was a goner. You talking about scalding ass hot tea just poured on ladybug ass. And so I said, "Damn," and I said, "I'm not wasting my damn tea. You done got in there." I took a spoon, I scooped your ass out. I'm give you a mercy death because I know she that if that hot water didn't get her ass, and she's still trying to suffer. I was thinking like, what if the little ladybug is suffering with these burns and shit? So I said, let me just put it out his misery because they ain't gonna survive that. We talking about scalding, boiling hot tea poured inside that cup. I didn't see it. I didn't see the ladybug before that. I didn't see it. I wouldn't have poured the tea in there where the ladybug was still in the cup. But I had to take a spoon and scrape her ass out, and I still drunk that tea because ladybugs are a very good omen. They're very very good omen. And she had been in my apartment. She had been in her ass in here for like 3 days, and I didn't think she would fly in that damn cup. I'm like, why would you fly in that cup? That honey. Yep, and I said, well, she transferred her energy to me. I don't know what that's about, but I said, let me. Ladybugs are very good omens, so I was sad uh, that she had to die that way, but at the same time, I wasn't gonna waste that damn tea. You know how expensive colostrum is? Goat colostrum. Do you know how expensive goat colostrum is? I don't think you guys we're talking about like for a couple of ounces, you could be paying 30 to $60 just for a couple of ounces. You know how expensive ghee is? $8 for and even I'm using a raw unfiltered organic honey. I don't waste shit. I say I ain't wasting this shit. You know, jumped your ass in my damn tea. I'ma still drink it. Scrape your ass out with a spoon and keep it moving. Because it's a lot worse bugs that could have gotten that tea. It could have been a cockroach. It could have been it's just a ladybug. That's what I told myself. I said it's just a motherfucking ladybug. It could have been any type of bug that got in that thing, But nonetheless, let's start our reading for next week. I know that was a tangent, but I wanted to share forward some for you to research, look into it yourself about the colostrum, especially if you weren't breastfed. Like I was not breastfed. If you were not breastfed, or even if you were breastfed, and you say people get certain conditions like Lyme and certain immunity disorders and all that stuff and all types of things. And so that believe it or not, you do your research, you look at the reviews, look at the testimonies from other people about how they said colostrum has helped them in terms of immunity, antibodies. Yeah, seriously, especially if you were not breastfed and you were given Infamil and what is it, gerbil baby? What's that? I think it was gerbil baby and shit like that. And shit, I was drinking straight up carnation milk, evaporated milk as a little baby. Um, you know, and to this day, like I always like I like that creamy taste of that. I don't drink evaporated milk now, but there's times where I crave it because I had drunk that way until I was like 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old. So, but anyways, let's go into next week's reading. Let's see what's the energy for next week. And remember, that is going to be from the end of this video, and I'll publish that on Twitter and get a timestamp on that. So whenever this video ends, until September 13th. And so this is the events from. We could even do tomorrow, the 7th, or the end of the video, which is today, from the 7th to the 13th. Let me make sure that my sound is still good because I know my sound be just so. But also let me share if you guys do want to get in contact with me for a reading, let me share that. But nonetheless, let's get into next week. I'm still looking to see. Hold on, let me see. Is my screen? Okay, what's going on here? I think my screen. I just got like a notification from my. Yeah, I had just got a notification from my streaming service that it was not sharing at all. And so they just been messing with they've literally been doing unsubscribing people from my channel. They've been doing all types of stuff. They've literally like we talking about like 20 people unsubscribing, and that's them doing that. That's actually not people unsubscribing, and they've been messing. Like I'm telling you, like this is like the second time I've had a disruption in this video, and it doesn't just quite seem normal, to be honest. And so it's most likely some sort of interference, COINTELPRO interference. Let me go back to where I was at though. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Just want to make sure that this sound is working. I'm probably gonna have to remove this live stream and then just uh upload the download. That was really weird. Yeah, that was really weird. So that's what I'm gonna have to do most likely. Let me just see how far back it went without recording. I don't I, like to me, I was talking earlier just in my head like about like how like this censorship stuff has gotten so bad, and it feels like the energy behind it. It's like it's it's kind of demonic. Like it's like such a fear. It's like a fear of what someone is going to say or what someone knows, and it's like, well, you know, why? It just is, it's just creepy because I'm telling you, like the amount of interference, and I'm not the only person dealing with this in terms of like censorship and trying. And it's like, what are y'all, actually like afraid of? But sometimes it's just to mess with you and stuff like that, you know. But nonetheless, it's really creepy. Okay, so it does look like it played for the most part. I'm just reviewing it because okay, so it doesn't look like I have to. I thought I had to like redo the whole thing. Mm-mm, does look like it's good now. That was weird. And then these notifications. I'm going to switch to a different streaming service, anyways. I'm so uh, this streaming service. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. They had a $19 plan, and they just literally overnight just no one asked for it. Just changed their $19 plan to $44 and added like these random ass features that no one asked for. It just forced everyone from a $19 plan to a $44 plan. Not over here. Not over here. Not over here. You got to be out your damn mind if you think I'm about to pay $44 and I was just paying 19 and I ain't asked for it and you just bump me up automatically to some shit. Nah, I ain't paying for that. So I gotta look for another streaming service. Anyways, ooh, this week looks good though, guys. This week looks good. This week looks good. Let's go into it. I'm about to share my screen so you can see the spread for next week. Now remember, that's for um the end of this video until September 13th. So I'm glad we're not getting like I don't like to do just negative stuff. Like it gotta be some positive shit that's gonna be happening. You know what I mean? Like it can't just all be. I know last week was a little like ooh, but you know, you guys gotta. It's always a balance, or maybe if there is imbalance, it's still it ain't. Trouble don't last always. So let's look at for next week. I have to say the energy looks pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Okay, so let me make sure it's sharing. Okay, let's see because I'm getting that error again that it's not sharing, but it does look like it's sharing. So why are they giving me that error? And you guys can't even see the error that I'm seeing because I can't share the screen to the. I could show you a screenshot of it, but it's doing that same thing again. It says your browser has lost connection to your screen share or audio. Try sharing your screen again. Restart your browser if this continues to happen. But it is sharing. I don't know what that's about. Okay, nonetheless, let's go on for this week's. I'm sorry, for next week's. Let's see. Do I see anything with global first? It could be something that comes out with very good news relating to like this could be a program or this could be policy change or just news, some sort of report, something relating to excellent job prospects or increase in jobs, increase in apprenticeship. This could also be some type of policy mentioning or new program that starts off with apprenticeship. We need these apprenticeship programs to come back, and I got a feeling like something screams apprenticeship could come back. A nice program could come back relating to apprenticeship that can help people that they don't necessarily have to go to do 4 years of school, but they do apprenticeship and they'll get paid to do the apprenticeship to learn them skills. And that's one thing that I'm seeing. Let me make sure that I write this stuff down. But I'm seeing something with apprenticeship comes up. This could be a program or a policy, and then also we can get a report or something very positive, or relating to an increase in major jobs, like an increase in jobs, but good jobs, like good stuff. An increase in major jobs are like something. Do I get job fair? I don't know why that comes up. Something with influx of jobs, or like, and this is like a program. I'm just, it's not like something that, because obviously you can get a job anywhere, but it's like something that's like kind of like on a major scale, like something that's more of like national, not something that's just, I mean, it could be something small in the state, but this is like a program to help people, like. And so we're really looking forward. I hope that this is something with the apprenticeship. Now I am getting a little bit of construction, something with construction, but this apprenticeship could mean many things. It could be apprenticeship in STEM and infrastructure building, that type of thing. So I'm hoping that maybe something gets mentioned with apprenticeship this week. I'm hoping that's the case, because that would be really cool. I did an apprenticeship program when I was in high school, and they paid us to learn construction. They've actually paid us. The state, it was a government program. We were in high school, and we would go once a week to the apprenticeship, and then in the summer you were supposed to just work like you got to figure we were like 16 years old, and they were willing to pay us $25 an hour for the summer to do the work. Now the program got shut down before we could do the summer program, which is what we were all looking for. Like it was like people, that was like this was something that they were looking forward to, because they weren't going to go to college, and so they were paying us monthly to attend those classes, apprenticeship classes, and then in the summer we would go right on the site and do the construction work itself for $25 an hour. And then the government shut down the program before the summer had started. So we never did get the job part of it, but that was like our door in. That would have been like literally our door, because one of the guy had ran the program. It was a New York State program. He was like, yeah, it's people that this is how they get their foot into construction. Like they literally, this is your door into construction. And see, I went to engineering school at Hutch Tech, and that's how we found out about the apprenticeship program. And they had architectural engineering. So I guess that's why they had that connection to just, and even though I was studying computer engineering, the kids that was taking the architectural engineering, they shared the information with us. They told us that thank God for them kids that was taking architectural engineering. I'll never forget, we was in lunch, and they was telling, the girl just started talking about some apprenticeship program that you get paid for. We said, give us that information. And she sure did. She helped us out. She gave us that information. So a couple of girls, was like four of us, it was like five, we were four of us, we were all Black women. And we signed up and whatnot and got in that program. And it was amazing. We were really looking forward to that summer, to do that construction work. And to be honest, They shut it down, and I know why they shut it down. I'm not going to get into it. It was a fucking McKinley students. It wasn't the Hutch Tech students. They shut it down because they did. I guess they didn't think we were taking it serious enough. But um, you know there were some people that was there that I remember them telling me like, "This is all I got. Like I can't afford college. This is our door." And they talking about they going. And you got to figure that was in 2008, 2000, yeah, about 2008, 2007, 2008, I want to say. So maybe even 2009. But you got to figure that was about what, damn near 16, 15 years ago or whatever. And $25 an hour for when you're 16, 17 years old, like come on. And so um we just, people were looking forward to that. So I am hoping that we do see something with that apprenticeship. Like that would be so cool for this government to invest in apprenticeship. I know Trump mentioned something about all this infrastructure stuff he want to do with the sovereign wealth fund and stuff. Part of that sovereign wealth fund needs to go to apprenticeship so that people can get them skills when they're in high school and shit, to go straight to building, redoing the infrastructure and the bridges in the United States. And so that's the energy. The reason why I'm saying this stuff, because that's the energy that just overwhelms me. Another thing that this could be is some really cool benefits relating to cool. I would say cool benefits or something in the news about school, like something with as it relates to higher education is something that makes it easier to go to school, or affordable, or something of that nature. Yet something that, that's another thing, like even on an individual level, a lot of you actually may be planning, or somebody that's trying to start school. They're going to be starting something. A lot of you are going to be starting a new job, or even getting a new job. Seriously, like when we see this type of energy, it's somebody that's usually they're starting a new job. They're starting even maybe school, and they actually like it. They're actually passionate about it. They feel very good and very positive about it. And this has been after a period of stagnation. It's been a period of feeling like, okay, what am I going to do next? What's the next move? And in this venture, this new job, or this starting of new school or whatever, it will prove very fruitful and beneficial. And this is after even reflecting over even past regrets about decisions made in life and whatnot. But whatever this energy is, as far as like if it relates to school or a new job, if you've been applying, or if you're trying to enroll, or if you know that's upcoming, maybe you already know that's something that you already are trying to manifest. That energy looks good for that. If you the only advice I would say is make sure you're not jumping to any conclusions about anything, as it relates to maybe things that are on the job, even people or the situation. And if you have a lack of clarity about something, or a little bit of confusion in regards to communication about something relating to the job or relating to school, just make sure that you deal with that and be very direct, and seek that clarity, or clear communication. That's the only thing that I would see. And then also, um, if there was any feelings of like, regret or sadness about anything that may start off early in the week, just know, I'm telling you that this is an excellent this is excellent energy for the week. And as far as like any type of beginnings of new passions, of new any proposals that you want to do, this is a really great week for that. There's a lot of joy and satisfaction. There's a lot of sharing of laughter, sharing of joy, sharing of knowledge, and of time. That's why I keep getting this apprenticeship energy. Okay. And so that's something that we see. There's the energy of moving to a new place, in terms of searching for peace and a better life, improving in your circumstances, healing and taking a chance on an unknown future. Those are the things that we see. And so that's the energy for next week on an individual level that you can look forward to. Okay. There's some prosperity that's matching the commitment. And that's that page of pentacles. That's usually, again, this always usually relates to job opportunity, internship, apprenticeship, learning of new skills, learning on the job, improving your financial picture. And then we got Especially when we combine that with the Three of Pentacles, that's where I keep really getting that apprenticeship energy. Um, some of you, maybe even if you're looking for a promotion or raise, that can also be done. If that's what you are applying for or thinking of applying for this week, apply for that, or you most likely will get it. Or there was somebody that literally tells you, work your job well done, like getting accolades, getting acknowledgement, feeling on top of your game. As far as relationships, if you're in a relationship, this is also an excellent week for the relationships, for healing, for getting understanding, for working together as soulmates. Any sort of reconciliation, you'll see that. You'll also you'll see maybe your partner be more responsible, like maybe even have a conversation about responsibility. Somebody may even come to tell you about something about relocation due to work. That's another thing. You may somebody like there's somebody most likely around you going to be talking about some type of new job, new school, new venture, new something, promotion, raise, and at the extreme of it is a literal relocation due to work. It's a good energy for the individual. Yeah, the communication is going to be great if you're in a relationship, partnership, feeling uh, that true commitment, that mutual respect for one another. You'll see that, and you'll see again this feeling of learning about themselves, learning about how to show up in a relationship, learning how to make sure that each other's needs are met in a very unselfish way, in a way that is very selfless, and reciprocal and complementary. And this is just you'll see some of that. That's another thing that I get for the individuals on a for those that's in relationships. I'm trying to think if I see anything that's global again. Mm, um, I don't want to overread. The first thing I just kept getting was apprenticeship learning. What is this energy though? This hangman energy is usually spiritual retreat. It's usually like a yeah. This is good energy for self discipline. I do got a strong feeling that something's going to come out about like the jobs, like about an apprenticeship program or like policies, like increase in major jobs or something. But it's something national. It's something new. It's something fresh. It's not just like something that we already like, oh, a job, like it's something that's kind of like, oh, this sounds cool. So cool benefits in the news about the school. It can be something with higher education as well that makes it easier, affordable. I'm trying to see if I get anything else. Um, Something that helps with pregnancy. What's that about? Something that helps with pregnancy. Something or helps with build families. This can also be something that helps build families. Um, so that could also literally be pregnancy, but also this could be a program that helps families get on their feet. Programs helps families get on their feet. Um, Retirement or the thing I'm getting is either house or like a baby. So we'll see about something about that. That's another thing. It's something that keeps families together. Something that keeps people together. So that could be something that's global that keeps people together. Um, that could be something we might see too. Something related to that. A program that helps families stay together, keep them. So I'm thinking maybe this would either relate to housing, pregnancy, or retirement, or something of that nature. I don't know why that just comes to me. That made that I don't know. That just came out. It just comes up, but it does look good. That's a great week for you guys. Continue your passions and spreading love and learning, self reflection, self learning, spiritual retreats, working on our ego. That's another thing that keeps coming. I'm just going off the dome of things that just comes up when I see this spread, this type of energy. Yep. And so it looks fabulous, to be honest. Oh, I don't think my links had worked because I had to start. Had to like restart like my streaming kind of. So I'll put my links if you guys do want a reading. But other than that, I'm going to end it, and we will chat next week, of course. We'll chat next week, and then review what we said to see what's gonna go. We'll see what's gonna happen. Shit. And so God bless, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.